I just put my stream on, but they can't hear you, just so you know. Because you'll probably see the notification, maybe. But just so you know that no, they can only hear me. I just want to see who popped up and let them know that we haven't seen Terry. So, yeah, well, I think how much water you must get through for a fog. Well, I suppose it's not that much for a fog pump. Yeah. No. But did it get that missed? No. Okay. Terry's gone idle. So what's things like over there, Alan? Okay. It's, so you're obviously not digital or film. Right, yeah. Yeah, to get that right. Lost you. They are on that short list of people we need. So you're thinking of making a move, Alan? You can get pictures of a different sky. It'd be a whole new experience. Lost you again. I think I'm not sure how long it takes. I think if you immigrate before you can get healthcare here. If a little bit of money in it. Well, yeah. I think obviously they'd be looking that you haven't retired might go against you. Yeah, yeah. No. If you could find a relo here to sponsor you and bring you over as a relative, you'd be okay. But um, I don't think you've got any close relatives in Australia, do you, Alan? down the pub with a barman. Apparently that's the norm. Ooh, I got a bit. Yes, well, that's the cheaper way to go. They go backpack over and go through Europe. I've got one viewer. I've got Frank Burns as a viewer. I think, Frank, you can hear me, but you can't hear them. Is that right? Frank was wondering who we like for top left. I know Alan's all up for Lindsay, but I think you could do a video though that could like get Lindsay up. Maybe if you did a funny enough video. I have to think about that one. Because this is a popular vote. Top left. To be honest. Nah. Yeah, well, as I said, what's it? Flat-sided. What's he going for? It's that one. It's not Brian. Because basically it's who Toon is going for versus who FTFE is going for. Are your main competitors, and although you never know. Yes. I think that would be one way. Although it's usually a fun video when they do their top left video. When they get enough people on there to have a bit of interest of different people having their opinion. So. Who's my third viewer? I've got 3 viewers. Alan must be on there. You on there, Alan? Fair enough. Yeah, I just turned on my anything we say can and will be used against you from now on. I don't think I'll stream for very long. I just went on to see if any of the usual crowd turned up, but we're not getting anybody. I'll see by about 10:30 if anyone's turned up or not. After that, if there's no one here, then I think that people are just hanging low tonight. I saw Matt asking whether there was a stream, but I haven't seen him since.
Looks like I will not be getting a visit. He's not feeling very well.
That's no good.
So I'm gonna have to go over to the post office later.
I wonder if he's by yourself. As I said, I think you'd do well doing tours around town and your thing. People like that sort of stuff.
My 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 biggest problem getting to towns to go round.
Oh, I think you've
Remember, I
done the
have to
same
go by
town.
public. I have to go by public.
Go by.
And
What's
it takes a bloody long time to get anywhere on them. And trains are expensive.
So what's a train trip worth over there? We have Apple Card. You've got a card. Isn't there a card system over there that supposedly does everything?
Uh, in London, there's the Oyster card,
Oyster. That's the one I'm trying to think of.
but that's just that just covers London. There's a couple of similar other bits of UK network. I've just seen an announcement. They're talking about doing away with return fare, which will be a bitch for local travel because very often a return fare is less than 10% more than a single.
Right.
So having to buy singles is be a bitch. No more paper tickets, and you'll have to buy online.
Okay.
So of course they can then close
All the tickets down there. We're trying to get him to have credit card payments here, so you just use your credit card rather than purchasing a ticket.
yeah, I
Effectively,
mean,
you just register your credit card. So.
yeah, you. That's the thing. I mean, if you've got a British bank account, there's not really a lot of point in getting an Oyster card, because you can just use your debit or credit card on the machine as easily as you can use a preloaded Oyster.
All right. Yeah.
You know, and in fact, all the buses here, you just tap your debit card as you get on.
I got a text message from my mum apparently today. She told me she was shopping at Woolworths and she'd brought the wrong card, and that could I please deposit $400 into a bank account with this BSB number and this account number, and she'll pay me when she gets home. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure your mum did.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. So I rang my mum and I said, "Are you in Woolworths? And do you need $400?" And she said, "What?" So I tried ringing the number that the message was sent on, and it said, "Could not complete the call. Partial number, incomplete number."
Sorry, you can't hear me when I turn my mic off. I just say a lot more spammy attempts now. Be nice.
I could hear you. I was just ignoring you, Timbo.
No, well, you wouldn't have heard me because I had the mic turned off. But
How do you know?
well, I know that I had the mic turned off.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Okay, only just turned it on. I just realised my chat was out of date. Frank. See me that way. No, I'm not outside. I had my fan on and turned it off because it was a bit noisy in the background. Well, I don't think we're getting Farmers tonight. I think he's was busy earlier. I think Matt's don't know if Matt will come in. They said, I'll wait till about 10:30, which is about 15 minutes, and I'll see what happens. Yeah.
I see there's a new Aussie turned up Blues server.
Darren?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of chatting in Bev's, and I think because he heard Bev's talking about Blue a lot, he's decided to come over and check out Blue's server. So.
Yeah. Well, I'd heard mention of it being in Bev's server, so when he came in, I naturally. Because I don't actually go and read what's going on in Bev's server very often.
You're cutting in and out, Alan.
Right, let me try my other. Let me try my other.
You putting polyurethane on the floor there, Paul?
What was that?
I said, are you putting polyurethane on your floor?
Yeah.
Got one coat on it?
One coat on it this evening, yep. So tomorrow evening it'll get another coat, and then maybe a third coat the next day.
Yeah, you shouldn't need 3. 2's usually enough. Yeah, you're a little bit low, but...
Bit soft.
It looks a bit better than the old carpet, though, doesn't it, hey?
Oh, yeah.
It's a carpet. I wasn't sure if it was carpet or lino.
Carpet. It's just, it was horrible, abysmal. Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, patchy wall there.
Yeah. Then once I've got the floor done, then the ceiling and the cornices will get done. Then once they're done, that'll be the walls. Yeah. So my piano's coming on the 3rd of March, so I've got until then to complete the room.
To get it nice and finished. Who's Aussie Man? Anybody? Armageddon says, I just watched you in Aussie Man's latest video.
Huh?
I don't think he did, because I don't think I've been in anyone's video that I know of.
What are you talking about?
I just had the live stream up, if anyone who wanted to know what was going on might drop in. Armageddon was just saying, he asked if you just saw me in Aussie Man's latest video, and I'm just saying, I don't think so. I don't know who Aussie Man is.
Would that be Aussie Man's review? That is a YouTube channel I have heard of.
Aussie Man's Review. Is that Aussie Man's Review, Armageddon? Aussie Man's Review, I don't know that one.
Huh. You got a live stream going?
Yeah, I got a whole of 2. I've got Frank Burns and Armageddon. And I'm assuming the rest is us. Or Alan and...
There you go. I've posted FTFE's live stream at the timestamp for you where he starts saying really dumb shit about the acceleration of the Earth.
Oh, okay.
Go and have a laugh.
Let's put it up. Listen to that. Do that one.
Intrinsic way to measure a constant linear velocity.
Hang on. It's a little bit soft. A bit better. Where are you?
Echo.
Linear?
Studio mode. Yeah.
Sorry, Island. Did I step on you before, man? Do you have a question?
What you can measure is acceleration.
Yeah, I was right after you.
Orbital is acceleration.
Well, there's a net sum of
Well,
zero acceleration throughout the whole orbit because you're accelerating in one vector whilst decelerating in the other. So, although yes, there is acceleration involved in orbital mechanics, if it's a perfect circle, then the net sum of acceleration would be zero overall. However, Earth's orbit is elliptical, right? Which means it's closer at one point and further away at another.
Did you hear that?
And that means they're actually.
Yeah. So if it was perfectly circular, then it'd be net would be zero.
He said it was accelerating in one direction and decelerating in the other. That's not what
That's-
circular
no,
motion
no.
is, man.
That's stopping and going backwards.
Is a slight acceleration.
I'll go back a few. Listen to that again.
If you were sharing it in here, we wouldn't hear all the echoes.
Okay, let me share it. You can't hear. Hang on, if I do this, you can.
I'm having to listen to it on YouTube, so
Oh, okay. Let me fix that up so you can hear it in here. I wasn't being very thorough at the moment. Where are we? Discord. Let's change that to. Device to there. Okay, so tell me if you can hear this. Let's go back. I just changed it.
You can't set one of those on the Earth?
No, absolutely not. There's no intrinsic way to measure velocity.
Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So we'll go back a bit. I'll share the video too. I'll put it in so you can see that. I'll do virtual camera and we'll stick it up and first have a go. I'll just change my camera to that one. Come on. There we go. And I know blue doesn't like that. Let's change it to the full screen one. There we go. That's better? Okay, I can push play.
To determine that, you can't determine that because that's not
How do
what
you-
that mouse is for.
How do you determine your car is moving?
You would look at the speedometer and it would tell you that it's moving.
Oh, you can't set one of those on the Earth?
No, absolutely not. There's no intrinsic way to measure velocity. Even your speedometer
so
in
you
your car,
can't
it's
prove
not,
that the
it's
Earth
not
was
really
moving?
measuring velocity. Your speedometer is measuring how many times the wheels have rotated and how big the radius of the wheel is to give you an estimate of how fast the car thinks you're going. There is no intrinsic way to measure a constant linear velocity. Echo.
Linear?
Studio mode. Yeah.
Sorry, Island. Did I step on you before, man? Do you have a question?
What you can measure is acceleration.
Yeah, I was right after you.
Orbital is acceleration.
Well, there's a net sum of
Well,
zero acceleration throughout the whole orbit because you're accelerating in one vector whilst decelerating in the other. So, although yes, there is acceleration involved in orbital mechanics, if it's a perfect circle, then the net sum of acceleration would be zero overall. However,
There you go.
Took your time. Did you hear what he said that was wrong? What do you think he said that was wrong?
There we go. So, well, first, it said the net zero. Sorry, I'll go back to here. So you said to stop about here. So tell me again. We'll listen to that.
On you before, man? Do you have a question?
what you can measure is acceleration.
Yeah, I was Right after you.
Orbital is acceleration.
Well, there's a
Right.
net
I
sum of
thought-
zero acceleration throughout the whole orbit because you're accelerating in one vector whilst decelerating in the other. So
Hold on. Yeah. So acceleration in one vector and deceleration in the other vector.
Yeah, what the hell does that actually mean?
And what other
that's
vector?
that's just bloody word salad. That is.
And what other vector? Isn't there only one
Yeah.
vector that you're traveling? You're not changing, having. Or is he trying
I
to
mean,
say
a vector is just the it's a quantity with a direction. So the acceleration is a vector quantity. But saying that we're accelerating in one vector makes no sense. It's not the correct way to talk about acceleration. And it's then go on and say whilst decelerating in the other vector. What does that even mean?
I mean, to have anything close, you'd have to have something pulling you one way and then something pulling you back. I don't know if that's what he's trying to get at, but
Well, I don't really know what he's trying to get at all there, because like you don't talk about accelerating in one vector. That doesn't make any sense logical wise to speak like that, because as soon as you talk about acceleration, you're talking about a vector quantity anyway.
Right.
So you don't even have to say in one vector. And then to mention whilst decelerating in another vector doesn't make any sense. Does he really mean that he's talking about reference frames? Accelerating in one reference frame while decelerating in another? But even that doesn't actually make sense at all. I mean, in circular motion or even in elliptical motion, you've got acceleration towards the focal point of the motion, which is the center of a circle, but also one of the focal points in an ellipse.
yeah. But the reason why we are going blue.
He's talking about the velocity, the change in velocity of the Earth as it traverses its orbit. That's what he's trying to talk about.
Now,
The further away from the sun the Earth gets, the slower it's moving.
yeah, the change in velocity is due to the elliptical orbit. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, sort of
Yeah.
back and forth. You have elliptical orbit, so therefore you have a change in velocity. Because if it was,
It's moving fastest at perigee and slowest at apogee.
yeah. I do think
Something about equal area and equal time.
Yeah, it's something about conservation of angular momentum, right?
Right, yeah, that thing. Yep.
Yeah. That's one.
although yes, there is
Did you listen to much more of this? Was it the usual sort of derp?
acceleration involved in orbital mechanics.
Yeah.
Oh, there's always more dirt.
Yeah.
If it's a perfect circle, then the net sum of acceleration would be zero overall. However, Earth's orbit is elliptical, right? Which means it's closer at one point and further away at another. And that means there actually is a slight acceleration of about
But you can't measure it.
0.3% over
It's
6
actually
months.
slowing down
Wait,
now, right?
let me finish my point. It's about 0.3% over 6 months, right? And it equates to something like 0.000023
Stop.
meters per second squared of acceleration
Stop.
acting upon us.
Stop. Yeah.
Did he say 0.3% over 6 months?
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
I think he's confused it.
I do too.
I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
Over
It's
6
actually
months.
slowing down now.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll go back to.
Because what the 0.3% figure that he's quoting relates to is
Gravity.
the percentage of the centripetal acceleration as compared to the gravitational force. That's got nothing to do with the orbit of the Earth around the sun
None
at
at all.
all.
Nothing to do with that.
Yeah, so that was just a
Yeah.
whole heap of words put together that didn't really mean anything.
Yeah, 0.3% is the centripetal acceleration at the equator
Of the
due to
rotating Earth.
rotation. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
Earth's
rotating.
rotation.
Yeah, not its orbit. Especially
Not
not over
really.
6 months.
No.
But I'm pretty sure, as we said, I think we queued up about the LC. Let's go.
Further away at another. And that means there actually is a slight acceleration of about
But you can't measure it.
0.3% over
It's
6
actually
months.
slowing down
Wait,
now, right?
let me finish my point. It's about 0.3% over 6 months.
Yeah.
Right? And it equates to something like
No,
0.000023 meters per second squared of acceleration acting upon us. And
Yeah, maybe
that's
it's
way
so
too
low
small
because
for
it's
us.
not moving. Maybe it's so low of a number because it's not moving.
Well, no, we know it's moving. There's other ways we've determined that it's moving.
No, not really.
Well, you can say not really, but that's not really a rebuttal to science, is it? That's just you going not really, which is in fact called personal incredulity.
Well, I would just think that if you could tell your
you
car
wouldn't
is
think
moving
ever.
by looking at the miles per hour, you surely could set something on the Earth of similar
Does the
aspect and get.
Does the Earth have wheels that are
It has an
moving on the
axle,
road?
doesn't it? It's got an axle, right?
No, it doesn't have an axle.
No, it doesn't have an axis.
An axis of rotation, yes, but it doesn't have an axle. And an axis of rotation is where it rotates around its own axis, not its orbit
What do you
around
mean?
the Earth.
You've never been to the magnetic north and seen the axle?
The magnetic
What?
north is moving, and there's a currently in.
The magnetic north has an axle.
What happens there, I wonder?
Yeah, I mean, like, the Earth doesn't even rotate around magnetic north, so what the hell?
It'd be worse if you went down to the southern magnetic pole, somewhere between Antarctica and Tasmania. Yeah, not even close.
Was it about 70 degrees south? Not the
Yeah,
South Magnetic Pole.
might have been a little bit more than that, but yeah. It's, right, it's in
I
the
think
ocean.
The,
Yeah. Gone.
the northern one's somewhere sort of between Greenland and the top bit of Canada, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not even in the polar cap, I don't think, is it? Well, it depends where you take the polar cap to, but
Right.
anyway. We'll see what I see here.
Well,
Northern Canada, heading towards Alaska. It might even actually be over Alaska already. I'm not sure.
Have you seen the axle there?
I mean, if
What?
you're gonna be funny, at least try.
hilarious.
Here's funny. The Earth is revolving around the sun, but we have
It
no
is.
way of telling from the Earth.
No, there's many ways.
That's
of
pretty
telling.
funny.
There's many ways of telling.
You can tell it's curved and spinning by how flat and stationary it is.
It's
Love
definitely
that.
not flat and stationary because we can measure the movement and the curve.
Yeah, but you can measure the things moving in the sky, and all the great minds of the
This
age
has
and
nothing
before
to do with what's in the sky.
have always said that you can't tell which is moving us or the sky from the Earth. And people have gone on to say, actually, it's us. We know it's us because we see the sky.
For a group that worships mainstream history, you guys are ignoring the fact that apparently civilizations all the way up until this very young current one knew it was flat.
That's incorrect. Even the Egyptians knew.
I'm not
it was
asking.
globe.
Once again, I'm not asking. Oh, that's incorrect.
Why did Atlas from Greek mythology hold a globe on his shoulders? Because we knew it was
Is
spherical.
Egypt as old as
Symbolism, bro. You don't
bet-
get symbolism.
A better question,
The
what was he
subject
standing on?
today is
Whoops, sorry.
Who knows? He was a god.
Atlas didn't hold the earth, he held the sky.
Yeah,
Which is a
depictions-
celestial sphere.
Depictions of holding a globe, right?
Celestial spirit.
So let me get this straight. Some artwork means Earth's a globe.
No, it means that we knew the Earth was spherical even back then.
No, it doesn't. It means somebody made a cool statue.
Have you got any evidence that people didn't think it was a globe? Because maps back then showed that it was a globe. Cartography back then showed that it was a globe. Measurements.
Hold
of
on, you
science
should have
back then
stopped the
showed that it was
question
a
because
globe.
now you're making claims. You should have stopped at the end of that question because now you're making claims. Oopsies.
Look up
just say
Egyptian
facts, not
cosmology
claims.
and tell me it's a ball. I dare you. Look up
The
Egyptian
Egyptians
cosmology.
knew the Earth was a globe.
They knew it was flat, and they thought some dude was hanging over the top of it with a.
Yeah, I actually don't think the Egyptians knew it was a globe. I think I've looked a bit into that. I don't think you can definitely say one way or the other. I don't know if anyone else has had an opinion on it.
Well, we know the Greeks knew that.
Definitely, and eventually the Egyptians would have adopted the Greeks because that's pretty much what happened. But some of the early stuff, I don't think they were particularly saying it was necessarily flat. I think all they were worried about was what was going on in the sky. So they definitely knew the sky turned around, obviously. So.
I think stars. It depends on how much seafaring they did in
Pretty
each
much, yeah.
civilization.
It was obviously when the Spanish and the English started, because you knew up the Atlantic Ocean. When you only had the Mediterranean, there's a bit of an idea of what was going on, but not as much as when they started to head west. And arguably the Japanese had already done a lot of the South Pacific, and supposedly even all the way down to Australia. That's under some contention.
But I mean, yeah, I think the Egyptians knew that if new stars that you didn't see previously.
Yes.
Which is also a bloody big giveaway.
I think also the thing is, when they say Egyptian, when you consider that Cleopatra is closer to us than she was to the Egyptians that built the pyramids in time, that's a big statement to say Egyptian and what Egyptians believed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Egyptian spans a fair amount of time.
Yeah. So what one lot believed doesn't necessarily mean the rest followed on with it. So yeah. Anyway, let's see what he says.
In their bodies.
Still trying.
Go ahead and look at.
Sorry, Blue. Lost him.
Turns out that the South Magnetic Pole is at 64.07 degrees latitude.
Okay.
64. Yeah.
That's
so it's a fair way off 90, right?
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Yes, I was quite surprised when I first saw it because it's this big. Yeah, when you look at the whole map, yeah, it's nowhere near the South. It's not even. You wouldn't even say it's on Antarctica. So.
Well, it's not at the moment. It's actually offshore.
Yeah. But I mean, not even overlap. It's not like it's just offshore. It's quite way offshore. Yeah. But anyway.
I think the North Magnetic Pole is off in the Arctic Ocean somewhere.
Yeah, it is.
I found this video. I don't know if you guys seen this one. This is from Mabbit, which of course doesn't say a lot. But I was watching this, and you guys are obviously a little bit more physics than I am.
Is circular.
Yeah. Can you see that? Okay.
Motion.
Yeah.
This is our mass, moving in a circular motion, at the same speed, at all times. It is rotating at a constant tangential velocity. What is tangential velocity?
Yeah.
At all times the mass is moving in the direction of the vector arrow.
Was there another voice in there?
Yeah, that was me. Hello.
That was you. Hello, how you going? Sorry.
Hey. Not bad.
I didn't see that. I think you'll get all the first bit. I'm pretty sure this is a tutorial at front. But I think he's mixing up this sort of directions with then placing the direction of the whole body at the same time. But to see if you
If we released the mass at any point, it would fly off in this direction, at a tangent to the circle.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that so far. But
Well, yeah.
there's going to
There's
be
a
a big
tangent.
but coming.
An easy
Yeah, I know
way
what's
to
gonna
remember
happen
this is
next.
to imagine a
Yep.
T.
Yeah.
The top is just touching the circle, tangential to the circle. The bottom runs to the center. The mass always wants to go in this direction, but is held in place on its circular path. So the mass will be accelerating at a constant rate, towards the center at all times. This is called centripetal acceleration. What happens when in a car and it accelerates forwards? You get pushed back into the seat. In circular motion, the pushing back happens in this direction at all times. This is called centrifugal force.
I wondered if that was what FTFE was trying to say, but definitely didn't come out that way.
So those two forces, when you put gravity into it, those forces balance out, right?
Well, it's
Gravity doesn't have anything to do with it.
Not what this
No.
no.
And I don't think FTFE was trying to say anything like that at all.
okay.
He just basically got something completely wrong.
No, no,
Oh, I
that's
haven't
right.
heard what FTFT said.
He basically said the vector of acceleration is going in one direction and the vector of deceleration in the opposite.
And it's a bit misleading, like that statement in that little tutorial, to say that you're being pushed back into the seat. That's
No.
not really correct. That's not the right way to say it at all. You're not actually being pushed back into the seat. The seat's pushing on
It's
you.
pushed into
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, and therefore you are pushing into the seat. But nothing's pushing you into the seat. That's the wrong thing to say.
Yeah, the seat's accelerating into you.
See,
Right?
you're right. Exactly.
This is the force you would feel when on a merry-go-round. If the velocity changes for any reason, the centrifugal force will change. What is a rigid body rotation? It is a physics term for a point or mass rotating about a center point. Translation. Translation.
Oh, here we go.
It is simply the movement of the circle's center point. We have already looked at circular motion and the effects on a mass. Adding translation or moving the rotation changes what happens to the mass. This physics works out what
No,
is
it
happening.
doesn't.
I didn't think it did.
We are looking down on the rotation. There are two velocities to consider for the mass: tangential velocity and translation velocity.
So, is that true? You wouldn't do that, would you? If you consider one body.
Well, it depends on what frame of reference you're looking at the motion from, and that's the whole point of this thing. But to then say that the Earth is moving faster in one direction than the other is a bit misleading, because you got to say from what point of view.
Because within our, is it referred to? I said something the other day. Gravitational. I don't know if that's the right word. Gravitational framework. So our center of that framework would be the sun, in terms of our solar system. So that's the extent that system runs by itself. But then that whole system can then travel and be affected by another framework. I don't know if that's quite correct, but
Exactly. You can center your reference frame on any point within the entire system of the universe. I mean, if you want to talk about the orbital motion of the moon, it makes sense to take your reference point as the moon's orbiting about the Earth. So you take the Earth as your reference point. Whereas if you're talking about the orbit of the planets around the in their motion, then it makes sense to take your reference point to be, somewhere near the sun.
I did a whole video on this.
Yeah.
When that idiot that made
This one.
Simon Dan famous.
Oh,
The
yeah,
gate
yeah,
guy.
yeah, the gate guy.
Yeah, the gate guy. Well, he came up with the same bullshit argument about rigid body rotation with translation. That rigid body does not know it's translating. It knows that it's rotating about the center point being the center of the Earth. That's what it feels.
Yes.
It has no way of knowing it's moving moving in any other direction.
Because arguably it's worried, for want of a better word, about this vector through here. Can you see my cursor? I don't know if you can. You can.
Yeah.
So it's worried about.
Yeah.
So this body's worried about this vector, right?
No, it just feels that centripetal force is the only thing it feels.
Yeah. So which is what's sitting around here.
For all intent, there's a very slight effect as a result of the sun, right, Paul?
Yeah.
But it's you're talking about 10 to the minus 7th or some bullshit.
It's very
tiny.
very small.
Yeah.
So
right. I worked all that out.
Would you argue that what's probably poor about this is there's something in the middle of this that's actually the center of that frame, and that's moving, not this that's moving in that direction? I don't know if that's a good way to put it. Well, let's say if this was the Earth in the solar system, right? We'd have the sun in the middle, and we're rotating around the sun, and the whole solar system is rotating around the sun. If the solar system's moving, its frame of reference would be the sun moving, but this body isn't really concerned about the movement of that center point. Does that make sense? Because that's not. That's
I'll say no.
You'll say no. Okay. I don't think I explained that very well, but I think in my head I know it. I think
look,
in my head I know
basically, when they're talking about in this little diagram here, they're talking about tangential velocity 2 miles per hour, and translation velocity 6 miles per hour, with respect to what?
Right.
Okay. Because what they've done, they've said that tangential velocity of 2 miles per hour, they've obviously taken that with respect to the center of that motion, the orbit of that body around the central motion. But now when they're talking about the translational velocity of 6 miles per hour, that's an entirely different reference point that they're getting that 6 miles an hour from. Yeah. So those two things mean entirely different things.
Fair enough. So I think he goes on,
As we have done before, both velocities are represented by a vector arrow. You can see the relationship between the arrows. The angle changes constantly. All we need to do now is to add the two vectors together. One at 2 miles per hour for the tangent.
Yeah. So you can't really do that because this is tangential and then this is the directional. So
because each vector's got its own separate reference frame. You can't add different vectors from different reference frames together. That would make no sense at all.
Yet that's what they try to do.
I know it's a poor analogy, but if I was using force, you would say that, okay, this force is from here. This force isn't relating to that object. It's not very well put, but I sort of have it in my head.
Yeah. Well, you're not really you're not talking force at all. You're just talking about velocity.
I was just trying to put it into words because I have it as a picture in my head, but not as words that make any sense to anyone who knows what we should be saying. Yeah. I think they go on.
Tangential velocity. And 6 miles per hour for the translation.
Yeah. We get all this is all this is
okay.
This is the one I thought was
so we got that. Now,
was misleading. He tries to spin the drone to follow the person walking around.
so as I'm moving,
yeah, I've seen that.
I can rotate or orbit myself. And again, this is whatever your subject is. Whatever you're tracking. I just so happen to be tracking myself, so I am orbiting myself.
And he's arguing the speed changes.
See that?
Well,
I
it
can
does,
rotate
but
or orbit myself.
With relation to what?
And again, this is whatever your subject.
Of course, in theory, that speed should be the same around here.
What he's doing is disproving his own point with this video. The speed of that drone compared to him is not changing. The speed of the drone compared to the ground is.
Yeah. I think that's what he's trying to argue, but it wasn't quite working. Apart from what I could see is the drone. The drone
Brian
wasn't-
Mabbott used this same thing as for things orbiting as well. You know, it's
Yeah, well, that's what he's trying to say. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, they're mixing up reference frames.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Try
a good
explain anything about. Try explain anything about reference frames to Brian Mabbott though.
Yeah. But that's what.
Not gonna happen.
But that's a good point to say that yes, it's travelling circularly in the same speed, but then this change of speed doesn't have any effect on the relationship.
Well, you move to another, move to another reference frame and look at it from a different point, and you're going to see something else, of course.
And you got to be careful when you say that too, Blue, because when you say the words "move to another reference frame" in the Flurf mind, that means leave one reference frame and enter another one, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that goes back to another point. Everything is in every reference frame all the time. It never leaves one, goes to another. You just select a different frame of reference to look at it. That's all.
You just select a different point of origin, basically.
Right. Yeah. That's all a reference frame is. It's a origin. Take a thumbtack and stick it in the ground out there someplace and say, okay, that's my frame of reference now. What are these things doing with respect to that nail I put in the ground?
Yeah.
It's quite another thing if you put a nail in the top of that guy's head. It doesn't look the same anymore.
He then goes to try and calculate it, but yeah, as you say, it's not real.
I've done all.
Input the velocities.
I did a whole video about this.
Yeah, we won't carry on. I can see where it was.
Yeah, I mean, if you get the fundamental premises wrong in it, then your calculations are going to be completely wrong in the first place.
You can see he's trying to do that vector calculation here, and obviously it's not going to be right. Didn't that show that's the same video again? So just go over that.
I mean, the Earth moves around the sun at 30 kilometres per second or something, Timbo? Yeah. Well, if I take that and if I add that to my velocity that I go into my car, I should be able to get to Melbourne within less than a minute, right?
Oh, sure.
That's right. I think they're going to. You should be able to feel it, though. Come on. We're traveling these huge numbers, so we should be able to feel it. Yeah. It's all relative. What else we got? Let's see. What else is out there? There's
Not heard anything from Terry, no?
No. Oh, I spoke to DM Terry during the week and spoke to him, I think, yesterday, I think was last. He hasn't given me a lot. He was unwell, which is why he hasn't been streaming.
He's still unwell.
He's had to see a specialist, which he saw on Monday. I don't know what he hasn't given me any details, which is okay, that's his business.
Have you heard anything from Monday, did you say?
No, he saw the specialist on Monday. He's on a waiting list to have an operation. That's all I've got.
Yeah, but I mean, did you? When was the last time you heard from him? On Monday, was it?
No, yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. Okay.
Yeah.
And how was he
But-
yesterday? Still
well,
unwell.
didn't get much info out of him, but yeah. It was basically I was just seeing what he wanted to do, and he said he'll stream if he felt like it, effectively. Like if he was if he was feeling up to it. Well, I'm sorry, to rephrase that. Stream if you, but we didn't hear anything from him tonight, so yeah. His thing was showing he was on Discord, but then it did go to idle later, so I assume he's not on the computer at the moment. So I was just sitting around for the moment. Basically, you'll see what was on. I didn't have anything set up to do, and I only started streaming to see what if anyone came on to let them know that there wasn't a Terry stream tonight, at least. But we haven't got the usual crowd as we usually get on my stream. But I think I started my stream too late. I was sort of waiting to see if Terry was going to come on, but he didn't. So we'll have to see where we're on Saturday. But other than that, I haven't got anything organised. I think I had a look at what Simon Dan was up to, and his last video was a bud flood one.
Yeah. The stupidity of mud flood.
Yes.
Yeah, mud flood's a bit of a funny one, really, because to me it's kind of like one of those ones that they're just batshit crazy, but they're kind of harmless, really. You know,
yeah.
to me.
There could be worse things. Go on.
Yeah.
I remember watching a mud flood video with Terry, and one of the buildings they looked at, I used to live in.
Oh right, there you go.
Because it was in the middle of Great Yarmouth, and it's got half a basement. It's got half a basement because it's on a spit of sand that you can't really dig down much deeper, or you're in the water.
So it's like a really low basement, is it?
Yeah. Well, you know, the basement isn't completely underground. It's...
Oh, right, okay, I'm with you.
You know, sort of like 2/3 of the basement is actually above ground level. Oh, sorry, 1/3 of the basement was above ground level.
Well, I think the mud flood's a bit weird because it's. I don't think that's a set thing, but it's almost like they'd say in about. It's got to be like in the 1700s, 1800s that this mud was deposited, because that's when most of these buildings that they seem to point out was built.
Isn't that, they call it the Great Reset as well, don't they, or something? Everybody was supposed to have died or something, didn't they?
Yeah.
Or something
No
like
one actually knows. No one knows about it. It's just been redone. Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, most or all of the world died, and all of a sudden, big populations just kind of spring up again rapidly. Yeah.
Yeah. The greatest event to ever occur on the planet, yet nobody bothered to write it down.
Yeah. Yeah. Batshit crazy.
I know they also have some sort of show buildings up on stilts, and it's all very weird, and they're from Galveston in Texas, and they're after I think it was the 1907 hurricane that swept in and flooded the whole of the city, because it's on a spit of land, lagoon behind it, and the Gulf of Mexico the other side, and they literally jacked all of the buildings in Galveston up by a couple of meters and filled it all in to try and prevent the city getting flooded again.
Break it up a bit there, Alan.
Yeah, and I'm using, and I'm trying to use the best option I've got for microphone as well to be reliable.
So your sound
Yeah,
is
I
good.
think the pickup on it might be a bit low. You might, if you're able to, maybe turn up the gain a little bit because it's struggling to pick up your voice. I think sometimes.
Yeah. The sound is good, but it's really
closer,
soft.
maybe.
Yeah, I can't turn you up.
Yeah.
Not without everyone else blowing me out.
Is this helping?
I'm not sure unless you talk for a period of time. It's hard to tell.
Well, there's a volume control handset, and I don't know if that's for mic pickup or for the playback.
Yeah, it's still a little bit choppy, but a little bit better, I think. Maybe. I think it's hard to tell unless you talk for a period of time. It's hard to tell.
Well, I've got the gain on the mic turned.
Lost you again.
Yeah, cut out again. Try me. I don't know if you're able to do push to talk maybe on Discord. That might help.
Are you going through banana?
Not now.
Okay.
Yeah, push to talk might be better, Alan. Maybe because I think that could be Discord's the problem because you've just got voice activated on Discord. Push to talk.
Yeah, it's like the noise gate is catching it.
Yeah, exactly.
Has anyone seen this one? Half width. This is Anderson one.
Oh, Whitsitt doesn't get it. Is that him? Oh. Half-wit, okay. Oh, this is Everett.
Yeah.
Now, guys, listen to me. The Earth is fucking flat.
Is it?
Would you excuse me? Just for a second.
If the Earth was round, and right here it says that gravity pulls all objects downward toward the center of the planet.
Yeah, no shit, dumbass.
Why aren't we being crushed by this gravity that's strong enough to hold oceans of water to it?
Welcome to Half-Wits, the game show that's fun and at times extremely trying.
This pen weighed 5 pounds, and I wanted to hold it.
Sorry, I just love the caption.
Yeah.
Weighs 5 pounds.
To the bottom of the game,
weighed
I would have to apply
5
at
pounds
least
sterling.
5 pounds or greater. So when you look at the oceans, sitting at the bottom of a freaking ball that's spinning and flying through space.
If you've been with us for the past 2 weeks, you'll know that our contestants are all tied for the lead, all at 0. No correct answers thus far. 2 weeks, nothing even remotely correct.
Yeah. It always gets me this fun. It's sort of like you just say, well, if they accept that force equals mass times acceleration as a basic one, then obviously the smaller the mass, the less force on it. Bigger the mass, like an ocean, the more mass. Yeah, anyway.
That is a lot of gravitational force being applied to keep that water there. So how are we not being crushed by that force?
Now, Darren, you're a family man, is that correct?
That is correct, Alec. I've got 2 wonderful parents.
What I meant to say was, you have a family of your own?
I don't follow you.
It doesn't make any freaking sense.
Lawrence, you were telling us you're still in school.
Righto, Alex.
Postgraduate work?
No, high school.
I'm having some degree of difficulty getting through high school.
You go down into the depths of the ocean, you have to be in a submarine, and the pressure that's put on the submarine is, I don't know what the number is, but it's per square inch, you know.
I'm going to pick a number from 1 to 10.
I was going to say, so that makes a difference that it's per square inch at the bottom of the ocean.
That's a handy piece of information to have right there.
Yeah, there you go. It's you don't know what it is, but it's per square inch. Okay. Is it a different?
We
per
can work
square,
with that.
Different per square inch if the submarine's at the top of the ocean.
And the contestant that comes closest to that number, I will personally declare the winner.
If you weren't in that submarine, you'd be crushed by the weight of the water, by all the pressure. It would crush you.
A number from 1 to 10 will start with Darren Peel. 12.
So gravity is somehow able to hold that much weight to the bottom of the world.
A number from 1 to 10. Blanche right.
No idea.
But that same force that's
What other ones that'd fall off, would it?
Downwards.
Okay.
The weight there, is it crushing us right now?
Any number, Alex?
Just pick a number.
12?
It would kill us. It would crush us. It doesn't make any sense when you think about it.
Could you repeat the numbers that have already been taken?
Anyway, the point is, all the pilots, military and commercial, they have commented and said that they have seen the curve of the Earth. You're lying.
And we're out of time. So I guess we'll go into a third week looking for a winner, looking for one correct answer, and looking for a new talent coordinator. Until then, I'm Alex Travell, and remember, a half-wit is sometimes better than no wit at all. Good night.
I think the biggest problem the flatwits have is that they think that gravity is a constant force, not a constant acceleration.
Right. And also don't seem to understand that gravity is dependent on the mass of both objects and the distance between them. Because you keep having this problem, same problem we get on, is it not, Blue? Is that not dependent on? Have I got that wrong?
Let me think about that for a second.
Because their argument is about about this butterfly thing, right? Why isn't with it, the oceans are being held onto the Earth, but the butterfly isn't?
A number of different ways of looking at it, Matt. I mean, one way of looking at it is that the one object creates a gravitational field, which you then immerse the other object into it. And depending on the size of that other object, how it interacts with that gravitational field produces a certain force. Obviously, the bigger the test mass you put in the gravitational field, the bigger the force is going to act on that test mass. Okay? So, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. So if you were explaining that to a child, i.e., Flat Earther on Facebook, how would you simplify that? Because
well, you'd say something like this. Again, the wind blows right now. If you hold up a little piece of paper in the wind, not much force is going to be exerted on that, right? But if you hold up a great big piece of paper, like a big ship sail, more force is going to be exerted on it, right?
Right.
So it depends on the size of the paper as to how much force is being exerted on it, even though the wind is the same in both situations. What's the same with gravity, The same gravity is acting. It's just that in one case you've got a small object, not much force being put on that, but in the other case you've got the whole friggin' ocean.
Yes. So I'm not incorrect in what I'm saying. It's probably just incomplete, right? That seems to be what I'm getting from you.
The acceleration of gravity, Matt, is independent of that second mass. It doesn't make any difference if you're talking about the mass of a molecule or the mass of the moon,
right?
For that matter. That doesn't make any difference when you're talking about the acceleration due to the mass of the Earth. All you need, it is simply proportional to, or I can make it equal to by putting big G in it first. The mass of the Earth divided by the square of the distance between the center of Earth's mass and the center of any other mass.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's where I'm getting it mixed up.
Yeah. So you don't need the second mass to find out anything.
Right.
Also, I noticed a problem with Matt's statement right back at the very beginning. They are not like children. Children generally want to learn. Flurfs don't.
Okay, fair point. I'll accept. I'll take that.
I also get the impression that they see gravity like a, trying to put in a word, like a waterfall or
like a magnet. Yeah,
or
I think they think of it as kind of like a magnet. It's a very powerful magnet. Yeah.
Yeah, or something being poured down, or something that's
Yeah.
And so they've been poured down on top of you. So it's the same, whether it's you or a butterfly is still going to have the same bucket of water, for one thing, poured on it and have the same effect. But that's obviously not how it works. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just trying to put their argument into something that makes sense, but that's incorrect. That vision of how that would work. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, constant acceleration. They think it's constant, or they assume it's constant force when it's constant acceleration.
Acceleration. Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one. I haven't watched this one before. Yeah, anyone seen this one? Flat Earth despise Star Wars, so I have no idea what this one's about.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look.
I don't think I've seen it.
Anderson one.
Just like all of you, I was taught in the public school systems. I had a solar system hanging in my room when I was a kid. I wanted to be an astronaut just like everybody else.
Oh, and you're a regular Rhodes Scholar. Where was it you
they all
graduated
say
from
that.
again? Hmm? University?
They often say it, but you then ask them questions. You said, so when you wanted to be an astronaut, what did you investigate about that? Oh, no, I just wanted to be an astronaut. Do you know what astronauts do?
Yeah, I mean, you get this. This seems to be a common theme now. There's not in videos. It's like they say, "Oh yeah, I used to be into space. I used to be into NASA, and I wanted to be an astronaut. I was really heavily into it." Yeah, no, you weren't. No. You knew nothing about it, and you didn't have any interest in it whatsoever. Yeah. It's just a way of reinforcing, reevaluate, getting them to sort of self-reevaluate, reinforce what they're actually saying.
Yeah.
That they were deceived and you're being deceived, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Let's see where this one goes.
But then I came to my senses and I woke up and started looking into things for myself and I realized...
There you go.
I was going to say, never gives a... when they've got a Bible verse in there.
Can we complete that sentence for him? And then I realised that I was a complete fuckwit and I absolutely knew nothing about what I was talking about.
That, all the science was because I read, my pastor told me to read this one thing, which just doesn't really say what he thinks it says.
All of it is a complete sham.
I'm not in right now. Please leave a message. Beep.
Man, I hate these things. Yeah, hi, this is Peter Griffin. I'm sorry I missed you.
You see, they have formulated this deception so that when they fake an alien invasion, we will all think that it is even possible.
It's in my opinion, we've got a lot to worry about here. I'm scared.
You see, because if everybody knew that there was a dome overhead of us, that the sun, moon, and stars were in that dome, and there are no galaxies, no ability to do space travel, then of course people aren't going to believe in aliens.
Logical. Flawlessly logical.
What are they going to believe when they see these things? That they're demonic, that they're spiritual entities, just like the Bible has always spoken of.
I appreciate your input, but please, fuck off.
What'd he say?
He said fuck off.
You cannot be a true Bible-believing Christian and believe you live on a globe. and believe everything that NASA and the space agencies
Nonsense.
have told you.
No,
So you could see, you could follow my train of thought here with my data that I've laid out. Honestly, when you look at it like this, I mean, I don't even need to say anything. It's pretty obvious.
If you believe the Bible's literal, which I absolutely do.
I'm gonna pull your plug.
He believes the Bible's literal. I'm just going to go back for a sec. Do you know, you can tell he's shaved and he's had a haircut. It says in Leviticus that you should do
therefore,
that.
he believes that all gay people should be stoned to death. If you work on the Sabbath, if you work on a Sunday, you should be stoned to death. So everybody that works on a Sunday, he believes that they should be killed. If you commit adultery, you should be killed. If you take all those, just a few things of the Bible, literally, that's what he believes.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the ones he's doing now.
Respect your parents, you should be killed.
Yep, that's right. That's another one. You should be killed. So there should be, according to him, there should be a lot of executions going on right now.
Yeah.
Moron.
But even the other ones, as I said, there's a whole lot of stuff in Leviticus which he's not doing. As I said, that's why the Orthodox Jews have caps on their head, because where's his cap? Where's his hat he's meant to be wearing? And why is his hair being cut? And there's all these other things.
Why is his hair cut? I could be almost sure as shit he's done some sort of work on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Therefore, he should kill himself.
Yeah, it's just Bible literacy.
Because on the Sabbath, you can't. You're not supposed to do any kind of work unless it's to do with the celebration of Christ or whatever.
No. Sabbath. That's a Jewish. Christ wasn't around when the Sabbath came in. But anyway, that's okay.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's what it says in the Bible. If you work on the Sabbath, i.e., the Sunday, you should be executed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is the Sabbath Saturday or Sunday? Because before.
Yeah. Depending on who you speak to.
That's one. It's Saturday evening till Sunday. Another one it's Friday. Yeah, it's a bit mixed up. So
it depends if you're a 7-day Adventist and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's different views, but whatever it might be, if you work on the Sabbath, you should be executed.
But I can pretty much guarantee he is not following everything that's in the Bible.
Well, they do.
I'm gonna pull your plug, okay, buddy?
Okay.
Just.
Please don't.
The earth is the center of God's creation. I'm not saying I know exactly what it looks like. However, it is a plane. It is a flat surface.
Doesn't say that.
No.
Shut up. Shut up.
And covered by a dome, like it says in Amos 9:6, which is the.
Doesn't say that either.
It is a
Doesn't say dome, no.
large structure,
No.
and above the firmament is heaven, where God resides.
Oh, give up. The guy's an idiot.
So no, there are not all these aliens in galaxies far, far away, like they try to teach in Star Wars.
There you go. that educational film series that
I
they
didn't
put
realize Star Wars was a teaching video. I think.
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
Star Wars, nothing but Star
Better go back and watch them all,
Give me the Star Wars.
That's a bit scary.
Can't hear any of that.
Who's Jar Jar Binks? And he's an educational piece.
Which, if you even look up, I think what's his name, Lucas, who created Star Wars, he even said he created Star Wars to bring in a new type of spirituality among the masses.
How about that nutty Star Wars bar? Can you forget all the creatures in there?
You see, it's not about just this entertainment, guys. It's about programming people to think a certain way. And people think a certain way when they watch Star Wars.
Hey,
Oh, of course, your boy was not programming you to think in a certain way, right?
They imagine themselves on a spaceship flying through space, right? And it's absolute bogus. It's all a lie. Don't be deceived.
Star Wars!
Yes, I've come across people like that,
Yeah,
Bible only.
The whole argument is because this is true because the Bible says so. You know, I mean, what can you say to that? Okay, fine. If you want to believe what it says in the Bible, go ahead. No, that's fine.
Except that they don't believe.
But not everybody else has to.
My question.
But don't go around saying everything else is a lie because you don't know.
My question is, okay, they're Christians. Why do they never quote Christ? You might notice none of these quotes are what Jesus said. Nothing from the New Testament till Old Testament. So, you may as well be Jewish.
Well, why would they do? Because, I mean, everything that Jesus says doesn't contain anything related to their narrative, right?
No, that's right.
About.
That's what I find really frustrating.
The vast, the vast majority of it is in the Old Testament.
Yeah. So they're saying, we do this because the Bible says so. But I said, are you a Bibliarian or are you a Christian? You know.
There's no point in arguing with people like that because it doesn't matter what you say. The answer is going to be nuh-uh. It says in the Bible this, therefore you're wrong. You know, you can't argue with people like. There's no point. It's pointless. I just don't bother even watching the videos or arguing with or debating with them. It's gonna as soon as you start mentioning God, forget it.
I don't bother arguing with them, but they're not these guys anymore, but used to. And the only way to argue is it's all Bible-based stuff, and unless you're into that, it's really boring for most people. Yeah, and even then, it's interpretation versus interpretation. But the big one is to get it to say, oh, you said such and such. Show me where it says, like, for example, where he says dome. Okay, where does it say dome? It doesn't say dome. It says firmament. It says, what's the firmament? Why does it say firmament? Why doesn't it say dome?
Yeah, then there's a different interpretation of what a firmament is as well.
That's right.
Some people say it's a dome. Some people say it's waters. Some people say it's heaven. Some people say it's something else.
Sky.
That's the thing. You know, using the Bible as a scientific book, it doesn't work because it's open to interpretation. So much of it, apart from the spoken word, i.e., by Christ, if you believe what he said, or I'm not going to deny he existed. I'm sure he did, but I would very much doubt that he was a son of God or son of anything.
Yeah. They're the worst. I don't know. What else have I got? As I said, I wasn't set up. Aussie Man's Review. This is the guy I was apparently in.
Hey everyone, no time to explain. It's time for Unexplainable Shit Part 3. This bus is...
Hang on.
Yeah.
You guys can't see that. I don't know what this is. It just came up in my feed.
Hey everyone, no time to explain. It's time for Unexplainable Shit Part 3. This bus is on fire. That's the opposite of what you want your bus to be. Yeah, I prefer buses without flames. Did those headlights turn on? That's gotta be paranormal activity. Bus lights shouldn't turn on during a time said bus is on bloody fire. And the horn is going off. Civilians are fleeing the scene. They can't explain this. I don't know much about the intricacies of the inner mechanical workings of buses, but they shouldn't drive and beep when they're on fire. Oh, it's parking itself in a safe place next to a dry, flammable tree. Fuck you, Ghost Bus of New Zealand. Fuck you. Okay, yep, even I can't tell you what's going on here. There's a Sheila and a cranky, bad-tempered lion going for a walk. How does your life lead to this point? What series of events culminates? Oh, she dropped it. What's the plan now? Go on, pick it up again. I dare ya. Hang on. She's had a moment of realization. Oh no, this isn't my chihuahua. This is a lion. Fuck, what do I do? Oh, yuck. I love a weird creature in this series, don't I? Someone's gone fishing and pulled up, I don't know what it is. It must be a demon. It's a demon creature. A fisherman's hook got caught in a portal to the underworld and he's reeled in an alien demon that will crawl down his throat, lay eggs, and the babies will will burst out of his chest. One thing I've learned doing this series is that the unexplainable forces in our world are petty as fuck. Bam! Spirits knocked over your beer. That was surely a petty ghost. Do you like to keep your ladders organised so you can find them easily when you have to reach high places? Tough titties! Your ladder is now being moved by dodgy, invisible ladder gremlins. Need to sell a glass table on FB Marketplace because you don't entertain anymore? Nah, the sky is fair dinkum the best place to find unexplainable shit. Look, there's a glowing rainbow circle. Or it's an anime character doing a power move. Or it's just aliens again, aliens creating a wormhole. Or visual effects, maybe Netflix is shooting a new sci-fi. Yeah, it's one of those three things, an anime character, aliens, or Netflix. Let me know in the comments below what you decide. What's that taped to the trailer? Is that that's a dinosaur, is it? Yeah, no, it's a rigid-dig giant croc dinosaur. Stop standing around it and taking photos. Haven't any of you dickheads seen movies like it's gonna break free and rip you to shreds, or maybe that's an animatronic? Here's a palm tree connected to the pole. Someone explain this. Go on, I'd like to see you explain this. What's going on? Is the palm tree sad because it's not very tall? It keeps getting rejected on Tinder because it's not tall enough?
Why?
Or maybe the pole is just giving it a piggyback because the pole enjoys
It's
fun
time
times.
for some
I don't know.
recreational boating.
Anyway,
Everyone's
the world
been
is itching to get out of the
Oops,
house.
sorry.
Davo's keen to try out the new GoPro. He's like, say good day.
Yeah. Shush. Shush. Shush, 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 shush. Go back to you.
I don't know. Anyway, all in all, the world is full of mysteries, and that's what makes it great. Don't worry about this bus, okay? Yeah, no, yeah, Firefighter Legends have come out in New Zealand, and they've put the bloody ghost bus of New Zealand to rest. I mean, they haven't killed it. I guess they have. They've removed the flames and the bus is resting. Don't worry about it, okay? It's solved. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you've got a video you want to send me, please do go to aussieman.com/submit and subscribe to the Aussie Man Video Licensing channel. Hey, you can see all the videos in their raw form that you wankers send me. So yeah, link to that is below. Go drop a subscription. Cheers. See ya.
I think that was in my feed.
How you going, everyone? Welcome back to Waffa.
Cause someone in my feed, who was it? I can't remember now. I think it was suggested I was in one of these videos. Who was that? No, that was Armageddon.
Suggested you were in one of the videos.
Yeah, I think it's this one.
11. I'm going to open on a cranky hippo because why not? You only live once. Get away from my body of water, yells the hippo. The humans do take that request seriously and bugger off. Cut to a raccoon attacking a child. That is classic trash panda behaviour. That's right, I stereotyped this creature. Here's the perpetually protective mother. That's stereotype number 2. She's like, get away from her, you bitch. Full Sigourney. The child doesn't want to step foot on the ground anymore. Fair enough. It was like the floor is lava trend, but the floor was raccoons. Now it's one-on-one. This is going to get real ugly. Mum yells, here ya! But the raccoon's like, nah, suck shit. Have you got a shotgun, Earl? I imagine she says, because it's America. All right, you little dickhead. You've had your fun now. Hucky-tucky. Raccoon launch successful. It takes a moment to recover and then creeps towards the house to probably find a way into the girl's bedroom. Don't try to look cool around galloping horses, especially if you don't know them. A horse that's a stranger can be very dodgy. No advertisement or whatever you're making is worth getting absolutely shit-mixed by a majestic beast. Big win for the horses. Oh, here we go. Everyone thinks they're the Little Mermaid. Everyone thinks they're in a Disney animation. Oh yeah, now fuck off out of here. Back to dry land, mumbles the sea turtle. This holiday maker realizes her inflatable crocodile isn't real. It's not going to save her. She thought she had a bond with it, but it's just a bit of plastic. Here comes the ferocious sea turtle once more. Is it going to bump her off? Oh, it has! Kind of, or she bumped herself off. Now she's like Leo in Titanic trying to hop onto another wanker's flotation device. The turtle's going to rip her to shreds. Yes, no. She's safe. All good. As for the inflatable crocodile, hopefully that makes it out alive as well. Here's a goat-cow hybrid. I don't know what it is, but I know its name is Greg because this bloke's about to yell, God damn it, Greg.
Really?
Is this a Canadian cobra chicken? I think it is. And that is the final thing that human ever saw. She wanted to help a baby devil bird. Bad idea. Oh, this guy. Bam! I feel so bad for him. He's a simple man trying to run a farm. Bam! Down he goes again. It's a toxic relationship. Bam! Say goodbye to your vertebrae. Ow! Here's a part of the world where they do not fear Godzilla. That lizard dinosaur is child's play compared to what we have here, which is a local elephant that thinks it's a fucking parking inspector. That is worse than a fine. Working with snakes. Okay, I'm not going to judge people's career choices. I never thought I'd be an internet guy. I don't know what's more stressful, needing to upload new videos all the time or handling big fuck off reptiles. She chucks it in, it sticks its tail out to mess with her. Oh, there's the attack! And a standoff.
Fuck you! Get in there!
Strong words by the Homo sapien. She puts the
Give it
pin
a
code
finger.
on the door lock and says, "Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?" Oi, free shipping Feb is still happening on AussieManShop.com. You get free shipping on all orders on all products this month. Link is below in the post description or comments.
That goose attack remark. Did I told you about me being attacked by a swan? Did I? Did I?
No,
tell you
I
about
don't
that?
think so. I don't remember.
No, oh, I don't know. I can't remember if I've told her. I haven't. Well, when I used to work in this pub, it's right next to a lake, and on this lake it had swans. One day, one afternoon, me and my friends were maybe a little bit drunk, not hammered. We decided to go for a walk. I got a little bit close to this swan with its babies. It didn't like me being too close to its babies, so it started to hiss and spit at you as it does. Well, it hisses, doesn't it? So okay, all right. So I started walking away, but this thing started sort of like. Well, they don't fly, do they? They kind of run along and sort of flap their wings very quickly at me, pecking at me, trying to attack me. So I was like, I was running away from it. It's like, okay, it's fine. So I was sod this. So I had a bit. So I was getting tired. After a while, I was sod this. So I turned around and swung my foot and kicked it, and I caught it squarely on the beak, and it just flew off. Everybody thinks that's animal cruelty, but it was either it or me. That's the way I see it. Didn't go out to kick this swan, but it was attacking me.
Yes. Do you know what a bin chicken
About
is?
21, 22. What's that?
Do you know what a bin chicken is?
A bin chicken? No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Explain.
I don't know. Can you see?
You've never seen bin chickens. You've got something to look forward to.
All right. Oh, okay. Well, how am I going to experience bin chickens then?
There you go. I don't know. I haven't watched this one, so I don't know.
Oh, here we go. Oh, well, this is the bin chicken. What the heck?
To adjust that. Ooh.
By the way, we're only seeing part of the.
Yeah, I can see
video.
that. I'm just fixing that.
That's a funny looking chicken. It doesn't look like a chicken to me.
While that's playing, I'll find another bin chicken.
Do the bin chickens attack on the wing, or do they just tend to walk around?
They tend to walk around.
Because I'm not sure if bin chickens are even worse, because the black-headed gulls will literally hover over you and steal your food if you're trying.
Oh
to
yeah,
get anywhere in
yeah, they
town.
will. Yeah, yeah. Same with the seagulls in certain seaside destinations.
Well, that's
yeah.
what a black-headed gull is. It's a seagull.
Oh. Okay.
And some of them seagulls are flipping huge.
Yeah, I know.
You know, metre and a half plus wingspan.
So you were sitting in on a nice little park bench near the seaside, eating your fish and chips, and this great big fucking thing comes flying towards you. You duck. It steals your food. Oh, so those are bin chickens, are they?
What's
okay.
a bin chicken?
Okay, got it now.
I'm just seeing if there's a Yeah, so it's a bin chicken on a bin.
Yeah. On a bin.
They're called ibises, but they're particularly tinny. So
bin chickens.
Life survives in the harshest environments on planet Earth. Searing deserts to frozen Arctic tundra. However, there are more toxic places, our cities, and these have spawned entirely new subspecies. The Australian bin chicken. Scientists have now confirmed what many Australians have believed for decades. Once known as the white ibis, the species has evolved into a superior scavenger. From the city's rooftops, the bin chicken has spotted something. Bins. The bin chicken has adapted to feed on a never-ending food source, our waste. Its beak has also grown and adapted to be able to pierce plastic and find morsels that any other creature would deem not only inedible, but unreachable. A meal fit for a king.
this is what they do if you leave your bins out like this with the plastic. They'll come and they'll tear it apart and spread it everywhere.
Yeah, you get holes everywhere.
The bin chicken's vocabulary has evolved too, enabling it to effortlessly communicate with the city traffic. Elsewhere in the city, it's lunchtime, and the bins are full. Its metabolism is one of the fastest of any animal on Earth. One in, one out.
They're messing out.
This mother is feeding one of its 700 chicks. A hard day of dumpster diving has paid off. This cocktail of burnt tobacco, Chico rolls and bin juice will keep this demanding chick satisfied for the next 10 minutes. Regurgitated bin juice. Yuck. It really is.
Enough to turn your stomach, isn't it? We've all smelled it,
Our
and we all
waste will
smell
live
the
on
bins.
long after we humans have left this planet. The bin chickens will most likely become the dominant life form. Our polluted world will ensure a never-ending food supply. It will then be Planet Bin Chicken. I, for one, welcome our feathered overlords.
Yes,
Our bin chickens tend to have 4 legs around where I live, and very
okay.
small. Yeah, with long tails, little bastards.
Long string-like tails, yeah.
Yeah, those things with the hooky teeth. I don't mind the smaller variety of those species, known as mice. They're not so bad, but it's the other ones that begin with R.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, given that I live in the countryside, I've got just as many near me.
Yeah, mostly mice, I suppose. Yeah, probably is it?
Oh no, lots of rats as well.
Rats as well. Yeah.
You see them sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see, our problem is that because I live in a terrace and all the houses around my street are all terrace, you've got all these side streets and stuff like that. When you live a lot of people in a population, you get people that, like, for instance, just dump their rubbish, for example, in backyards and things like that, or spaces behind their backyards, and don't care, and it attracts rats and things like that. That becomes a problem. Report it to the council. We know where it is. Report it to the council many times, and they go and deal with it, and it gets cleared and stuff like that. And then, but guaranteed by the next year, it's all back again. People just dump everything there. It's not far from where we are as well. So yeah, we get some rats, and then of course we've got 2 cats. I guess what cats do.
Chase the rats.
Yeah, they bring in. Well, I mean, they don't bring in the male rats because they're, the adult rats because they're usually too big. But usually the rats, the cats will catch the the smaller rats, and they'll cats do what cats do, and they come and bring them to you. Mostly mice, though, I must admit, but the odd rat here and there, and birds.
And birds.
It's like, look, Mummy, look, Daddy, look what I got for you. Oh, thank you very much.
It's so nice to give you these presents.
Yeah.
Has anyone
Plastic bag, pick it up, inside out, turn it inside, put it in the bag, go and put it in the bin outside. Pretty much routine.
Has anyone heard of Mitchell from Australia for a while?
Yeah, go on then.
No, I just say
Yeah, I
I
haven't
think
heard.
he's gone.
Oh,
missing.
you haven't heard? Yeah.
No, has he gone missing?
I don't know. Yeah, fair point. Actually, I haven't heard anything from him for a while.
For a long time. I think the last time I heard was when he had that little scuffle with Mr. Sensible.
Mr. Sensible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, about the Four Courts pendulum at that museum or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Science place or
And
whatever. Yeah.
Being paid and not being paid, and I
Yeah.
wonder if he just got in trouble with his missus, and I don't know.
I think Mr. Sensible knew he's probably never gonna get what he asked for or his money back. He knows that.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was a good series and stuff that he did on him. Actually, it was entertaining. So you got good views and stuff for it. Oh, did I tell you that I got a reply on the comments under the the live show I did the other day from Carl Adams? I got a response from him. Yeah, in the comments. Yeah. He dragged me into doing a video maybe backwards and forwards, perhaps, but I don't know whether it will or not.
Yeah. See how it goes. This is Mitchell's from Australia. He hasn't done anything for 5 months. Video, well, this
5 months, yeah.
Live.
Disappeared off the scene for a while.
A year ago was the last time he did anything live, and so his last video was
Last
geometry.
one 5 months ago. Yeah.
Maybe his kids are old enough to tell him, "Hey, Dad, you're a fuckwit."
I don't know.
Or maybe not those words, but yeah, in translation.
Maybe he got a job.
I think he had a job though, didn't he, when he was making videos? Did he not?
I don't know. I
I
just got the
could have
impression.
sworn there was one time when he said, "Oh, I don't know, I can't remember what it was. Or something about at the weekend because I worked during the week or something." I think he said or something like that. I could be wrong, but I thought he was working at the time.
I just always wondered because his wife wasn't happy about Mr. Sensible. He didn't dox her, but yeah.
Oh, look at that! Look at that title of that video: Wolfie 6020 Rogue Pilot. Yeah, okay.
This one, yes.
And the fact that Wolfie 6020 has been, showed videos of him actually flying the aircraft. Yeah, of course, he's a rogue pilot. Okay.
Yeah. I like this.
And I was thinking that's kind of odd if you're landing, going north, or moving in the north direction.
That's not, and no, the ground looks to us like it's standing still.
Yeah, not an issue, huh?
Yeah.
So you just heard that from that pilot. Basically, Earth is standing still. And again, a really important point to make is you can tell this pilot doesn't even put the so-called spin of the Earth into consideration whatsoever when she's flying a plane. Now let's take a look at this clip as well. And listen to what he says when asked about the so-called curvature.
Was that Russian vid speaking?
From aboard an airplane.
Yeah. It's not.
Take a listen.
Did you notice any curvature while we were up there?
Curvature? No.
No, there's no curvature?
It's just all flat.
Very interesting. A pilot says he does not see curvature.
I've seen that.
Well, he
one
won't.
No.
From that altitude?
No. Nothing in it. I think this is all the same stuff as we always get.
Yeah, that's why I keep having this argument because they keep saying, "Oh, the pilots are saying that the Earth is flat." No, they're not, because listen to the question that's been asked: Did you see any curvature? No.
No.
Well, they wouldn't.
And there was
They're
the
not
other
asking
one.
if the Earth is flat.
And the other one about not seeing the Earth move underneath it says, well, no, because you're saying it's how it appears stationary. It doesn't look
Well, you won't.
it feels like you're going over it, not the other way around.
No, not one time have I ever been up in an airplane and not noticed the Earth was moving under me, one way or the other. Right?
Yeah.
Dear me.
Yeah. I mean, usually it keeps disappearing under the nose, doesn't it?
It does. Yes. Usually.
There'd be something wrong if it wasn't.
Oh well, although I have managed to get a Cessna 150 to go backwards.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
arguably,
yeah. Headwind.
Yeah.
But that was scary.
No, it's fun. It's hilarious.
Oh, is it? Oh, Jesus Christ! I'll be laughing.
I came upon
What the
that.
fuck? Why is my airspeed in negative numbers? What the fuck? Oh, no, not airspeed. Ground
No,
speed.
your
right?
airspeed. No, your
Ground
airspeed is
speed,
fine.
right. Yeah, ground
exactly
speed.
what it should be.
Yeah. Sorry, ground speed. I should say. Sorry,
You can't
getting that
tell.
wrong. Yeah.
I used to, on days like that, I'd go park over the top of the interstate highway and just laugh about what the people down there must be thinking.
It's just plane hovering.
Why's that airplane
just sitting there?
sitting there?
Yeah, I suppose.
I guess it's one way to burn fuel.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
What's this one? I don't think this was ever Mitchell. I
Wolfie
think it was just
6020 simply have no clue about how Coriolis actually works. It's only observable as you turn beneath something. Like accounting for it in a plane. What, you got a Coriolis meter? Ground control to Major Idiot. I realise you're trying to impress a blonde as you fly your shitbox. Nevertheless, we have a guy observing you from a roundabout. He says you seem to be taking a corkscrew path as he turns beneath. Please turn on your Coriolis correction instrument.
Yeah, I'm not going to much for that. It's going to be the same.
Moron.
Yeah. Just looking through that. Just put together things from other people. Didn't Mitchell used to always be on his show all the time?
Not all the time. From time to time, he would do.
Time to time, he just
Yeah.
vanish.
Yeah, from time to time, he would.
There's a few Aussie flat earthers that seems to happen to. They just seem to disappear.
The only real regulars, actually, the only one that's been there the whole time is on every single show, every single day, and that's Arwen.
Yeah.
Follows him like a puppy dog. Badly mistreated puppy dog too.
I was going to say, all I've ever heard of him is getting told off for daring
regularly.
to speak.
Yeah, all the time from Oakley. Yeah.
Daring to speak. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. It's like, yes, Nathan. No, Nathan. 3 bags for Nathan.
I don't know what else we got on here. I'll see if it's floating around. I might next week, in case Terry's next Saturday, I might try and put a few things together. Be a bit more prepared. We'll see what happens. Just looking through what I've got. Nothing exciting. I mean, a lot happened lately. We'll see what's what I headed. Reddit. You don't go on Reddit much. There's a lot of similar stuff on Reddit. There, I noticed today, I just put up so you can see it. Transition into there. And global navigation for pilots. Is this yeah, you know that one. Yes, another one. Okay. That's what I was looking for. Ah, yes.
Are you on Reddit?
Yeah. Just flicking through. This is Flat Earth, which is mostly Globers. Occasional one.
Yeah, if you really want to find some dirt, if you're willing to look.
Yeah, I go to Globes for skepticism. This one is.
But no, Facebook.
Facebook
is
and
the
TikTok.
place for real derp.
Yeah, no.
Twitter's not bad, but Facebook is on another level.
Yes, I think fake star. There you go. There's what Starlink Satelloon is. There you go.
Oh, Starlink Satelloons now, have we? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, fake X.
There's thousands of Starlink satellites, thousands of them. Not to mention the rest of the satellites, and of course, why are the balloons not dropping from the sky literally minute by minute? Because they should be.
And how are they staying in the one space?
They're all Satelloons.
Maybe that's what the Yanks are shooting down.
Oh, do you know what one guy said about that balloon was that apparently that Chinese balloon was a balloon that got too low, so to cover up, the Air Force had to shoot it down because it was actually a Satelloon. It was actually a satellite.
Yes,
yeah.
I had seen some flat earthers claiming that that's why the reason they shut it down is they didn't want people to know that they had them. So that's why.
Even though on the side of the balloon it said Chinese People's Republic, written on huge Chinese characters on the side of it.
And they actually said, and they confirmed it was one of these.
Yeah. So with all these thousands and thousands of Satelloons, we only managed to see one. One went a bit too low, apparently. One.
The other two. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't stay in one spot either, which was the other thing.
Yeah.
Which it's going to be the
television.
Not
not the definition of a satellite, is it?
No.
It didn't orbit for start with, and it hovered in one spot for a long time. Not quite sure that's a satellite.
Sorry, I was just looking at this one. We're repeating the same words like gravity. Yes. Yes. Funnily, yes, those sort of words do get repeated every now and then. Emergency landing. No, that's a game. Well, there you go. Chemtrails approved by pictures of trails in the sky. Well, that's what you expect. How long's this one? Actually touches.
Here we go again. Let me show you what the Bible has to say once again.
This
is Genesis chapter 1. And God made two great lights.
The same guys
the
before?
greater light to rule the day, which is the sun, and the lesser light to rule.
I think it's another one.
Is it? It looks like the same guy to me.
I've seen him on Everett.
Yeah,
I've seen him before. Which is the moon. God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon earth. The sun and the moon are local. How is that possible?
No, that's not the same guy as been on. He's a different one. I haven't seen this guy.
No, probably is different then. Yeah,
there is a blonde guy. I can't think of his name. It looks like he never blinks. And he always does a close-up face and back on the other. I want to see about the laser. I don't want to see about this. Blah 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 blah.
Right, guys, I've got to head on. I'll catch you all later. Have a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna head off soon.
Okay, Matt, later.
No, it's just the same, all the same rubbish. Won't bother with any more of that. Yes. It's funny that they're obviously this ad popped into their channel. Basically says get a telescope and look at the sky.
But no equatorial mount.
No. It's only your junior version. 114 mil. It's an Italian one though. Must be better. I don't think that's going to be exciting. But that's the same usual rubbish. It might be time to call it a night.
Yeah. Well, that would give me a chance to go to the post office while it's not cold. Or
Good
not
idea.
so cold.
Well, it's almost tomorrow here, so I gotta get up and do a few things in the morning pretty early. Got a few jobs I'm a bit behind on. Gotta get them out. So probably a good time to go to bed. Oh well.
Since
hopefully we'll see what Terry's up to
my
next.
daughter is not visiting today.
Yeah. All the grandkids.
No grandkids, because she's not feeling well.
It's time for some recreational boating.
Shush.
Everyone's been...
Shush! I have pages that have audio when you clicked on them. They're very annoying.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Oh, thanks for that, Alan. I think it's just you left. I'll just have a look. Who we got?
Blue's still there, sort
Blue's around.
Ish.
He'll work out. I'm not there anymore. I'll catch up here. We'll see you soon. See you on Saturday.
Yeah, see you Saturday, mate.
Okay, see you then.